Do you know that the main purpose of writing an article is to inform and also to educate? Take note is that whenever you are writing an article, you have first to understand the questions because there are types of articles. Then the instruction reads verbal. You are advised to spend 50 minutes on this section. Then the question reads, you are not happy with the price of fuel in the country and its effect on the people and the economy. So you decide to write a letter of complaint to the editor, Times of Zambia. Before that, you draft some rough notes to help you remember some points. Use the notes given below to write the letter. Say also what you think should be done. And these are the points I drafted, okay, according to the question. Okay, the first key thing you have to understand verbal is that when you talk about article writing, this question is simply demanding us to write an article. You have first to understand that when we talk about article writing, an article is simply meant, or an article is meant to do what? To inform. The main reason why we write an article is to inform. Okay, apart from informing, is to do what? Is to educate. So the main purpose of writing an article is to inform or educate or educate. So now when we say to inform, like for example, your area lacks, let me say, clean and safe water, okay, you as a resident, okay, you can write an article to do what? To let the local authorities to know about the same what situation your area is facing. Okay, so informing, it can be mainly when you have a what, when there's a what, there's a problem. Okay, you are concerned about something. Okay, you are concerned about something. You want the local authorities to take action. Okay, then now take note, we have also this word educate. So the main purpose, actually, if you take note, the informing part, it's simply demanding you to write what? To write the letter to the editor. The informing part is simply demanding you to do what? To write the letter to the what? To the editor. Okay, then the educating part is simply demanding you to write the what? A feature article. A feature article, that's what you must understand. The informing part is simply demanding you to write the what? The letter to the editor. Okay, so now when you talk about the same letter to the editor, take note of these words. Number one, we have this word express. Okay, express. Apart from the word express, we also have this word concerned. Okay, we have this word concern, we have this word concerned, and apart from this word, we also have let me say complain or complaint. Okay, so take these words seriously, because it is not all the time whereby they're going to ask you a question directly saying write the letter to the editor. They'll just say you are a concerned resident of Kanyama compound, you wish to express something, let me say to express the issue of drug abuse in your area. There's no word letter to the editor. They'll simply use the word what? Express. Okay, concerned or a complaint, like the way it is here. So these words, take them serious. Okay, take them serious. It is not each and every time whereby you're going to see this word that write the letter to the editor. No, they're simply going to use what? These words. So master them and also understand them. Don't master them, okay? I normally advise my student not to master things, but know them fully. Know them fully. Okay, so when you talk about the educating part, we do have what we call a feature article. So a feature article, a question will simply come like this. They'll simply say write an article. They'll simply say write an article. Let me say about the, they'll simply say about the importance of what? About the importance of sports. You have seen? Write an article about the importance of sports. That's how feature article normally comes. Okay? You will never see a word like okay, complaining, wishing to express your thing in the word. A feature article just come directly. Okay? Mainly it's here to do what? To educate. Okay? To educate. Sometimes what they can simply do, like the way it is here, is write an article about the importance of sports. Or sometimes they can simply let me say ask you, okay, to write an article about the importance of a certain job. Okay, they can simply say, okay, write an article. They can say write an article, okay, let me say about the importance, okay, they can say about the importance of the sales, what, of the sales marketing, of the sales marketing job. You have seen? You are simply educating people about the importance of this job. Okay? The first question, we are educating people about the importance of sports. Then the last question, they can simply ask you to educate people about the importance of a particular job. Okay? That's what it is. But when it comes to the letter to the editor, you have to know these words. To express, in this kind of a letter, we express. Okay? You express your views or opinions. Okay? You write this letter when you are concerned, you want something to be what? To be done. Okay? You are complaining. Okay? All those things. That's what you must understand. Then we talk about the letter to the editor. It is a formal letter. When I say a formal letter, this simply means, in other terms, we can also refer to it as a business letter. So now, take note that this letter must have what? Two addresses. Okay? Your address and also where the letter will be sent. Okay? The senders and also the receivers. That's what you must take note. You must take note. Okay? And also take note that formal letters, they normally end with yours faithfully. Now, let us look at the question so that at least we can try to answer. Since the question says you are not happy with the price of, you see, you are not happy. Simply means you are concerned, okay? You are complaining about the price of what? Of fuel. So you are not happy with the price of fuel in the country and its effect on the people and the economy. So you decide to write a letter of complaint to the editor. You see? So now here in this kind of a letter, we will be what? Expressing our views on what is happening concerning the price of what? Of a fuel. Okay, to the editor. They have also given us where this editor is or found. Okay, it says Times of what? Of Zambia. And it is not in each and every question whereby you will be given Times of Zambia. You just have to know. Okay, you can just master Times of Zambia, or you can simply say News Diggers or these newspaper what? Companies. So it says before that you draft some rough points. Okay, now they're simply asking us to write the what? The letter to the editor. In this kind of a letter, we are simply complaining. Okay. So now, what are we going to do? Let me get my paper. So, this is my paper. We have said the letter to the editor must have what? Two addresses. So, your address must be on top of what? Your right hand side. Then, where the letter will be going must be here on your what? Left hand side. So, the first key thing, if you check the question, it says you are not happy. If the question was like, okay, you are a student, make sure that you use the address of your what? Of your school. If it says you are a student, okay, make sure that you use the address of your what? Of your school. But if the question is just directly like the way it is here, it is very much advisable that you use the residential what? Address. Use your residential what? Address. If the question is saying you are a student, okay, you are a pupil, simply demanding you that you are not out of society, you are simply what? Within what? School. You are at school. Okay, make sure that you respect the address of your what? of your school. So if it says you are a student, make sure that you maintain the address of your school. But if it just says you are concerned, okay, you can just go directly writing the what, your residential what address. So let us start. So the first key thing, you have first to write your address. So here I will start. So how do you write the residential address? Is way too simple. You first start with your what, with your house number. You simply do this. Make sure capital letter H. I'll write okay, house. You have seen capital letter H. Then I'll write number. You have seen. So house number. Then I'll just write any number here. I can say house number. Then I'll write just 10. Then I'll put a comma. This simply means that I am not done. I'm still what, going. So I'll write house number, then 10, then I'll put a then I'll put a comma. So now house number 10 of where? So if you want here, you can write the street name, or if you want, you can just go directly writing the compound name. But whenever you are writing your address, make sure it must not be what, in a blocked format. Meaning you must not write everything here in a straight what, line. Okay, there must not be let me say in a straight what, line. Make sure you must enter a little bit. So house number 10 of where I will write Kalingalinga. Make sure capital letter K. Say Kalingalinga. Okay, area, or I can say compound. Okay, say compound. Then I'll put a then I'll put a comma. So house number 10, Kalingalinga compound. Then afterwards, where is the same Kalingalinga compound, I will enter. I will say Lusaka. So capital letter L. Then I'll say everything now it will be maintained in what? Small letters. So now house number 10, comma, Kalingalinga compound. Then where is Kalingalinga compound? In Lusaka. Then after just writing the same Lusaka, or you can say Ndola, okay? So now you skip a line, then now you have to write the what? The date. The date must be in the same line with the what? With the H. So I will do like this. Just come up with any date. Let me say, I'll say 29th, okay, March, say comma, let me say 2020, like this. I even add a full stop. Like this. This is how you write your what? Your residential what? Address. So house number, you come up with any number, comma. Then now Kalingalinga compound. You can even write Mutendere and other what? Places. Since me, I am in Kalingalinga, so I'll simply use the same Kalingalinga. So Lusaka, then full stop. Then now skip a line, then you write the what? The date. Then afterwards, you have to skip another line. The main reason why you're supposed to skip before you write where this letter is sending to make the letter neat, okay, or to let the letter breathe, okay. So you skip. Then now here we have to write now where the same letter is going to. So now if you check from the question, it says what? To the editor, okay, to the editor. So this letter is going directly where? To the editor. So after skipping, you just write the word there, T capitalized, say there. Then now the word editor, make sure capital letter what? E, like this. Editor, then I'll put a what? A full stop. So the editor. Now, the editor of which institution? The editor of which company? The question says Times of Zambia. It is not always that you'll be given. Make sure that just if you just want to master the same Times of Zambia, it's okay. So just write here. Make sure the address here, okay, it was written in a slanty way, okay. If you check, everything was not in a straight what? Line. But in this, when you are writing the other address, make sure it must be what? In a blocked what? Way. Everything must be what? In a straight what? Way. So I'll write Times of what? Times of Zambia, like this. Don't put a full stop. Make sure you put a comma. So the editor, comma, then Times of Zambia, then comma. That's what you do. Then now after writing this, okay, so Times of Zambia. Now the post office, I'll simply write P O then box. So take note, capital letter P and also capital letter B. then just come up with any numbers. Okay, let me say 2471, then a comma. Then now where Lusaka, simply write Lusaka, then add full stop. So now after writing this, it is strongly advisable that after just writing this, okay, what comes first between the reference and the dear editor is the dear. Okay, so many people, they do make a mistake of just writing the reference. So after just writing this address, you have to write the what? You have first write the dear. So it's strongly advisable that after just writing the same Lusaka, the same dear must be in the same what? Line. Okay, like this. I'll say dear. Now where the editor, I'll say dear edit. I'll say dear editor. I'll put a comma. Okay, say dear editor. Then afterwards, the first key thing that you must take note is that after now writing dear editor, what you're going to do, you see where there's a comma here. That's why in the same line of a comma, you can simply write the same what? Reference. Okay, don't write the entire word of the same reference. You can simply just write two words. Okay, you can simply write it like this. Okay, R then E, or if you want, you can simply write R small letter E. But if everything is in capital letters, your title must be what? Must be in capital letters. But if the other letter it is capitalized, then the other letter it's what? In a small letter. You have to write the title in a small letter, in small letters. So now what I'm going to do, I'll simply write like this, RE. I will simply maintain, okay, everything what? In capital letter. Okay, so this is how it is, guys. I hope that we are moving. So I am simply giving you, let me say, 30 minutes to look at how I have done it. Okay, take a look, guys, take a look. Are we getting the concept? Are we getting the concept, guys? Okay, are we getting the concept? Okay, so now the reference or others, they can simply write the sub, which is the subject. Now after writing this, we have now to write the title. So this, it will act as if it's our what? It's our title. So I'll say complaint. So this is simply a complaint. So I'll simply start my title with the word complaint. I'll say complaint, okay, about, or you can say on, okay, about high, okay, about high fuel, okay, prices. Okay, it's strongly advisable that whenever you are writing a title, don't add a full stop at last. So reference, so complaint about high fuel prices. Okay, so now after writing this, what are you supposed to do? Now you simply start writing. Take note that whenever you are writing the first paragraph mainly, you must just go directly expressing your concern. Okay, don't greet. Okay, don't say how are you by this time, I hope the newspaper office it's okay, you are making lots of money. No, just go directly expressing your what? Your issue. That's how it's supposed to be done, to be written. So you simply use the first person narration to say, okay, you indent. So I'll simply write I, which is the first person narration. Then I'll say I am writing. Okay, I'll say I am writing to complain. Okay, about the high price of fuel, say in our country full stop. So I am writing to complain about the high price of what? Of fuel in our country. Then a full stop. Then I'll say, I'll add up to make it a little bit longer. I'll say the high fuel price has made life very hard for many what? For many Zambians. Full stop. Then now the ending sentence or line, make sure that you can even direct the marker saying that down are some of the main reasons for my complaint. Okay, or you can say the following. You can say, simply use this one, down, or say down down are some, or say down are some of the main reasons, okay, for my complaint. Okay, so in the first paragraph, just go directly expressing your view. Okay, then afterwards, just in the first paragraph, express your view, express the main reason why you are writing the letter. Don't greet. Okay, then afterwards, what are you going to do? You follow this same I. Okay, you are going now to write the first point. So you can use, let me say, to start with, to begin with, or firstly. Okay, simply say firstly, then you put a comma. Then afterwards, now you go to where the points are. Check. It says fuel most important commodity in the country. So now if you check, these are the points. Okay, you can simply get the points randomly. If you check, if you want to get this point, you can make this point. You can put this point in your first paragraph. Also, you get the other point. Okay, if you want, you can just be following them. You get this point. Okay, then you get the other point. Okay, it's your choice. Okay, and you have to be very much careful. Also, you look at the instruction verbal, because some other questions they can say you can follow the points in order, because here we don't have that point. Okay, so take at the you must look at the instruction verbal. Sometimes they can say, okay, you must follow the points in order. So since here we don't have that instruction, we will simply get them randomly. So if you check, my first point is fuel most important commodity in the country. So I'm going to get this point. If I want, what I'll do, since I've said firstly, I'm going to get the first point and the second point. I'm going to push them together in a single paragraph. Okay, I will just connect them. Okay, so that at least you know what I'm talking about. Guys. And I do hope that you are able to get one or two things. Okay, so firstly, I'll simply get this point. It says what? Fuel most important commodity in the country. So I'll simply get it like this, guys. So I'll say firstly, I'll say, okay, fuel. I'll say fuel is the most. Okay, I'll say it's the most important. Okay, it's the most important what? Commodity. Okay, in Zambia. Okay, in Zambia. So this is the point. Fuel is the most important commodity in Zambia. Then now, if I want, I can just add, okay, put a full stop here. Then I start explaining what this point means. Or if you want, you just write because, then you start explaining what this point means. You have just to expand a little bit. Then you say, because it is used in what? In transport. We're simply expanding. Okay, you say transport, factories, and homes. Okay, I've just expanded this same point. Okay, then I'll end up adding the other point. I'll simply say, or if you want, you can say and, then you add up the other point. So in this case, I'll just write, let me say, when I'll go to the other point. If you see, price affects many other things. So I'll simply do this. Okay, and let me say when the price of fuel, okay, when the price of fuel goes up, say goes up, comma, say the cost of other goods and the services also goes what? Also goes up. Okay, so I've just joined the point. I can even add up to say making everything, can say making everything expensive. So I've added the points. Okay, that's what you should do. Okay, you can get the first point and the second point, you can simply merge them into a single paragraph. Or if you want, the second paragraph, this the firstly part, you can get 1 point, you expand it, then now at the third paragraph you can start getting the points too. So what I'm going to do, since my space is not enough, what I'll do, I'll simply show you how we end. So that's what you do, guys. And your writings, okay, the composition parts, at least they must have 5 to 6 paragraphs. Okay, at least they must have what? 5 to 6 what? Paragraphs. So if you check, I have 1, 2, then here I am remaining with what? 3, 4, 5, or I can add up to say 6. Okay, so make sure it must have at least 5 to 6 paragraphs. Don't go beyond that. Okay, so here firstly, let me show you now how we end. So I will simply write the ending conjunctional word. I will simply say on a closing note. Okay, so that's how you do, guys. So on a closing note, so take note, since here I've written let me say firstly, you can say firstly, then secondly, you also join the other 2 points, then you say thirdly, you also join the other 2 points, then now the last part you can simply say lastly, then now you join the other points, then you say finally or on a closing note. So on a closing note, I'll simply end it like this. You say I suggest, okay, you can say I urge, I suggest that the government okay should act quickly, okay, because people are really suffering from these high what? Prices. Full stop. Or you can also adapt the designed ministry, which is in charge of let me say fuel, okay, which is the Ministry of Energy. You can also include him or her saying that I would love the Ministry of Energy to come up with some measures in terms of how to curb these things. So now what are we going to do? Now we are done. Make sure, since this is a formal letter, it has 2 addresses. Take note here where it says dear editor. We don't have a name here. Okay, if it was a friendly letter, would have said, let me say dear John, would have ended with what? Yours sincerely, which means you know the person. But here on the dear, if you just write dear editor, dear member of parliament, simply means you don't know. Okay, if you just write the name of the person here, just know that you have to end with what? Yours sincerely. But since here we have dear editor and this is a formal letter, you have to end with what? Yours what? Yours faithfully. So all right, yours faithfully. Then after writing this, a comma, then now you can add up a signature here, then a comma, then you write now your name. You can write your name in capital letters, or if you want, the first letter of your first name must be capitalized, and also the first letter of your surname must be what? Capitalized, like this. So thank you very much.